I believe the Black American culture is a very broad, wide, and impactful one. I don't think it gets enough credit. It's not given enough credit for what it has done, not just for the world, but Africa in particular. In fact, I believe whenever I think about Americans, the first thing that comes in my head is not even color, it's not even race. The things I hear first are hip hop, street culture, fashion, Michael Jackson. Most of the coolest guys. In fact, I think black Americans make it feel like they're the cool kids, they're the cool kids of the world, they make everything cool. And it is important that we start, giving and according them the credits they deserve. And today, I'm going to be discussing the Black American culture's influence on Africa. But it is important that we see these guys and their impact. Their export is amazing. I don't know how they do it, but their export is very crazy. You hear the names of their people, Tupac Shakur. Contrary to what you guys in the United States might believe, if you go on the streets of Africa right now, the countries basically Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Senegal, Cameroon, you'll be surprised that Tupac's influence is bigger than the rappers you think are big over there, because it is important that you guys see beyond the United States. You guys' culture, especially your music, is crazy. And yeah, they have a whole lot of positives. Even some people forget that Michael Jackson is a black guy, and Michael Jackson is like one of the biggest exports of the American culture. I'm not even just saying black culture, I'm saying American culture. You guys don't know the extent and the power, the star power that guy holds on people in Africa. Michael Jackson basically has like a whole movement of people who want to sing like him, who want to dance like him. It's not just in America. He has inspired a whole lot of kids in Africa. Some of them are even doing music today because Michael Jackson started something like that. And a whole lot of people have built their musical awareness around what Michael Jackson represents. That guy is a very huge export. And I'm not even just going to stop there. We're going to quickly look at a whole lot of ways the American culture, especially not American culture now, specifically the Black American culture, has impacted Africans. I know, of course, these guys are our siblings, distant relatives that 400 years ago were shipped, in the Africa was invaded, they were shipped as slaves. But the beautiful thing is what they made of that experience. What they made out of that experience is the real thing. I don't blame them. A whole lot of people are saying they don't want to be identified as African Americans, and some say they just want to be Black Americans. The thing is, the beautiful part of their transformational process is the evolution. How these guys moved from Africa, as slaves in Africa, moved over to a different place where they were oppressed. They stood up, reacted, and basically took over and became these pop culture advocates. If I am going to think of my best American musicians, of course, Michael Jackson is going to be one of them. Tupac Shakur, there's Drake, there is Kendrick Lamar, there is Nas, there is who else again am I forgetting? Of course, Jay-Z is a big guy. If we're looking at the popular guys, Beyonce, they are still blacks. Prince, there is it's a lot. There's Usher, there is. And it's funny how we have black and white artists in America who are also incorporating Black American culture into their music, into their way of life. So today I'm going to be looking at how these guys have influenced African culture that even Africans themselves don't know. So guys, before I start, please hit the subscribe button. We are building something very beautiful here, a cultural community where we can interconnect both cultures. That's what we're doing here at the Persuasion Network. My name is HRM, and yeah, hit the subscribe button. Let's get started. Number one, let's look at the music. the music in Africa basically started culturally. Music is like a part of us. It's part of our rituals. It's part of our religion here in Africa. I'm not talking about Christianity and Islam. I'm talking about African religion. The African tradition has religious rites interwoven. We can't separate. You can't take away the African man from his religion, from his spirits. No, there are two things. Even from his eating, the way he eats, all these things are rituals. Until the colonialism guys brought Christianity and everything. Music was if a hunter back then, if hunters came back from a hunting or whatever, or the warlords came back from a battle, music is what they used to welcome them. So while our American counterparts, our black American counterparts, were shipped as slave and they turned everything around, music also followed them. But the most important thing is how they were able to evolve the music into things like jazz and blues, into spirituals, into rap, into a whole lot of R&B, and into what I will call a street culture that is so viral. So number one is the hip hop, and the music rather. The music is vast. If you look at Africa right now, even though our music is evolving, please guys, Afrobeats is not the only genre in Africa. Please, it's popular, started in Nigeria, but we have thousands of subgenres of music in Africa. There is piano, there is house, there is high life, there is soukous, makossa. Yes, of course, there are Fuji. There are lots and lots and lots of music in Africa. Please, the music genre. So Afrobeat is not the only one to correct any stereotype. Yes, and please, if you're watching this, Africa is not a continent. It is collection of countries. Yeah. So moving forward, we have thanks to the American brothers, the Black American brothers, we have a subculture of rap in Africa, like rappers that I can tell you guys will compete with Kendrick Lamar. Yes, I know you guys worship these guys over there, but Kendrick, Jay-Z, we have their versions, even if possible better. Yes, in Africa. Yes, we have the likes of MI, we have Nasty C, we have Casper, New Vest, we have AKA in South Africa, Calligraph, RIP to AKA, God bless his soul, and we have Calligraph, we have Black Bones, we have a whole lot of amazing rappers in Africa, all thanks to you guys. It's a beautiful culture. Rap is beautiful, even though it's an evolution of whatever you guys took from Africa, but trust me, forging it into something this beautiful, not just the music, it has evolved into an amazing culture that is viral. Everybody's rapping K-pop, Latinos, Europeans, Africans. Rap is viral. You guys need to stand up, Black Americans, and give yourselves a round of applause for that, because it is one of my favorite forms of music. I don't know how you guys did it, but evolving such a beautiful subgenre, put rhyme, metaphors, goodness. And listening to people like Tupac, Nas, Jay-Z, Kendrick, and of course, what's this guy's name? I'm forgetting his name. Moving forward, basically, Andre 3000 years, and the rest of them, you see how rap can be an intelligent genre of music. And I'm not just talking about a drug culture, gangster rap. Kanye West also explored something very beautiful with rap. So it's beautiful to see that in Africa we imbibe that. 50 Cent was so viral in Africa. Believe me, I think if you walk on the streets of Africa right now and ask a whole lot of people who their favorite rapper is, go to Ghana, go to Liberia, there are chances you probably hear Tupac or 50 Cent. B.I.G., yeah, Notorious. I'm just letting you guys know the reflection here, the reality here. Jay-Z is not as big as 50 Cent. Jay-Z is not as big as 50 Cent here. In fact, the first name that comes to their head when they hear rap is 50 Cent. And he came with a lot of culture, the headband, the G Unit singlets, basketball jersey and things like that. I'm still going to come to sports. Let's not even move there yet. So the culture is beautiful. A whole lot of street culture, the fashion. It's how the Black Americans export these things together. Very beautiful, guys. Beautiful. And you have a whole lot of Africans trying to dress like you guys, trying to, you get inspired by you guys and stuff. And it is not just that the culture is taken and integrated. No. Africans are very intelligent people, guys, wherever you guys are in the world. It is the interesting way Africans interweave whatever they take. I'm even going to be specific. Ghanaians are very good. They take dancehall, weave it into something beautiful, and boom, you have a street culture. Nigerians can take hip hop, weave it into something beautiful, and boom, you have a street culture that is responsive to the people's plight. Rap is not just all about singing, and of course, I'm not going to say that rap has not also copied the braggadocious, characteristics in America, in Black America. I have this chain, I bought this car, the braggadocious stuff. Yes, it was also copied as well. Rappers trying to best themselves, beef culture in rap, DCs trying to get who's the best MC. All these things found their ways in Africa as well. So just letting you guys know that as well. Yeah, but the reason why I'm pointing out people like Michael Jackson, God, I don't know what you guys did to that guy, but and Prince, but I think they're one of the most powerful exports in terms of music you guys have ever had. Michael Jackson's star power is crazy. Let me let you guys understand something. Africa is a vast region with many countries, and there are some countries that are remote and rural. Of course, there are also cities. But you'll be surprised that Michael's star power traveled down to the corners of these places. That guy's star power, I don't know what you guys do with him, but it's amazing. Then another thing I would like to talk about in terms of influence is church culture. The gospel church culture. We have, of course, there were Catholics who came with, a whole lot of colonialism, a lot of Christian missions. But one interesting thing is the culture that came with the church. Not just the church, but the Black American church. The keyboard, the pianos, the pastor talking and they playing. Nah, that was not permitted with the white guys when they came around with colonialism. Nah, it was just church. But when the black church started emerging through, the movements of civil rights and everything, they started finding their ways into Africa as well. You have the pastor preaching, and you are having this organ, the church organ, going in the background, and people singing, and Africans just wanting to express their spiritual selves, not just in a slow way, but yes, pastor, they are singing, they are dancing, clapping their hands, all those things found their ways. Although these things are not strictly an American thing or Black American thing, they're Africans, but you guys helped magnify it, made it cool, Americans know how to make things. Black Americans know how to make everything cool. Now I understand why a whole lot of American distribution companies and record labels sign a lot of American artists when they want to blow up things. I mean, if you want things to go viral, just put on Kanye West on it, or put on 50 Cent. You guys really have a very strong marketing power, and I wish that all things go well and that the black man is respected and given his due respect, because guys, Black has been giving and giving and giving for years. I know the time will come. So yes, the church culture found its way here. There are lots of Nigerian pastors and Ghanaian pastors who want to sound American, I'm sorry to say. And that is part of the culture. The church culture found its way down here. They speak youth pastors sounding like Black Americans. It's cool to the ears. Christian youths want to find their ways to those churches and things like that. So yeah, as one of the influence as well. And trust me, we also have a Christian mom. I don't think this one was an influence of Black. It's just that Black is just Black, basically. There's some things that you can't copy. And another thing the spirituals as well. You guys, music in terms of gospel music, we actually listen to the likes of Kirk Franklin, Ty Tribbett. There is the Winans, or is it Winans? I don't know. There is Mali music, Israel Hilton, all the black American gospel musicians you guys listen to over there as well. Trust me, Ron Kenoly, the rest of those guys, McLaughlin, they found their ways in Africa as well, in African churches. And yeah, they also inspired a crop of African gospel musicians as well, who could sing beautifully, sing in English, even imputed. I also respect South African spirituals. Jesus Christ, although South African spiritual is something that has been indigenous to South Africa. This one was not copied, it was not originated. It is a South African thing. South Africans have a beautiful soul in terms of music. So yeah, that is not even an export. It's something that is homegrown in America. I'm South Africa, yeah. The blacks in South Africa, bless you guys. Then I think another thing I want to say is the celebrity lifestyle. Celebrity lifestyle is something that I would like to see has also entered and found its way into Africa. The blings, the showmanship, the show off. All those razzmatazz, all those swagger. You hear music videos looking flashy, like you're trying to oppress people, you're trying to show off. All those things found their ways in the music videos in Africa as well. Music videos that look like $1,000,000. Yep. They found their ways here as well. We have celebrities, celebrities give back to their community as well. I think that should just be a human thing, basically. It's not, nobody should get inspired. I think it's just basically a human thing. Then we have, what else am I missing out in terms of celebrity lifestyle? All those tweets you guys see, celebrities doing this and that comes with fame, basically. So I think that has nothing to do with race or ethnicity. Another interesting one I would like to talk about is attitude to life, abbreviation coinages. Yes, I think black Americans tend to coin things a lot. I was on Instagram the other day scrolling to comments, and I think during COVID, the pandemic lockdown and everything, 2020, scrolling to social media and I saw comments, and guess what? Black Americans have given COVID a name, coronavirus. They've coined the name, they're giving it a short name, Rona. They catch the Rona. I'm like, wow. So they just brought out some names, stylized it, and boom, it's flying. So I think, yes, that's coinages. You guys are very good in coining things, and if one is not even careful, you won't even catch it. So these are things that I know that a whole lot of African cultures are also getting creative with, coinages, just stylizing things, giving their short forms and making it cool, making it street culture-ish, you get. Then another thing again is the N-word. Bro, the N-word is something that has traveled the world. I really want to clap for you guys for forging it into something, It was something that was said to offend the black man. It was something that was said to disrespect the black man, but the way you guys took that stuff, weaponized it, gave it a new kind of meaning is powerful. Because it's crazy to see a name that was, you take the mud, or you take the stones people throw at you and use it to build a fortress. It's weird, but Americans are very creative. Black Americans, please. Very creative. Because the N-word became so cool that I am even sure the white guys will be like, oh my God, what have we done? So you guys took the word, switched it up, and it became something that black people can call themselves and feel community wherever they are. I mean, if I'm somewhere like Poland and I see something like my N-word, my nigger, that kind of thing. It's beautiful how you guys took that kind of word and removed it to mean something for yourselves, and also put a caution so that the white guys can't see it. That's beautiful to see, and I respect you guys protect culture because it also found its way into Africa. Yes, a lot of Africans call themselves that, even though yeah, it's still an offensive word in some places. You don't want to say it in a formal environment in Africa. You don't want to be in an office and say it. Yes, those kind of words are permitted within friendly gatherings. If your friends are, you don't want to say it to your parents. Trust me, they are still offensive words basically. But they found their ways into hip hop, African hip hop. We have lots of African rappers calling themselves that. You know, my nigga did this. Nigga, I got 20 milli. This, that. You know, things like that. It's just part of it. So you guys did something well with that as well. Then the trendy culture. You guys know how to make things viral. Found its way into Africa too. You guys know how to make things very cool. There are lots of ways of typing on the internet today. Lots of social media trends. Lots of TikTok trends. Lots of coinages. You know, LMAO. LOL, lots of stuff that African Americans or Black Americans just created out of nowhere and just, made something beautiful out of it. So you guys know how to make things cool. If you really want to make things cool, I think you should give it to Black Americans. And before you know, the whole world is switching, especially Africans. Africans like you guys. So our ladies will pick up something that maybe Nicki Minaj is saying or something Cardi B is saying. I wish they picked up more from things like Maya Angelou and Toni Morrison. I wish they picked up more from people like that, people like Michelle Obama or something. Yeah. So just letting you know that these guys they have a lot of star power to make things very viral. So if you want to get things viral in every part of the world in Black communities, give it to the Black American. Then yeah, I also think you guys did something well with helping us become more aware on racism. There's a whole lot of things the American media would not show us in the movies, in cinema. And these guys have a lot of power in the movies. They get to influence and shape culture. But thanks to social media, we get to also see reality through a Black American's eyes. If you go to Black America's Twitter, you get to understand that America isn't really what it claims to be. There's still a lot of racism, even though they tend to act like they're the truth when it comes to equality, fairness, and justice. But it's impressive to see that the Black Americans are calling them out. The George Floyd movement was so viral. I'm not even just going to stop at the George Floyd movement because I know that there's been like a whole committed movement of Black Americans trying to find civil rights. MLK, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Farrakhan, a whole lot of these guys trying to make the world aware of the racial inequality, the injustice, the prejudice, institutional racism happening in America and everything. We could only know that through Black Americans. If they were not vocal enough, I'm not sure we would have found that. And those things found their ways into Africa as well. Because Africa is almost a homogeneous continent where you have lots of blacks. Although there are still Africans who are light skinned, like they look Berber, like Arabian-ish, like the Egyptians, the modern Egyptians, Tunisians, the Libyans, I think the Ethiopians as well. Those guys tend to be Algerian. I think those guys tend to be light skinned. But Sub-Saharan Africa, West Africa, East Africa, South Africa, those places tend to be fair skin. Dark skin. So you have people like us seeing you guys talk about racism. It helps us become aware because for people who didn't grow up or who were not nurtured within a racist background, you think the whole world is not racist until you travel out of the continent. So when most of us touch down places like the UK, places like the US, and other countries, they become aware. And it's beautiful to see that there are even black Americans also trying to create awareness, and they have also established systems that dismount all these racist systems. An African immigrant can easily go to America right now and gets a level of peace of mind because you guys have done some of this homework also in the UK as well. So this would not have happened if you guys have not created the racist awareness. So because an African who is moving might not know that, hey, blacks are not like here, blacks are not, these are the kind of things you don't take from these people if they're trying to be racist. So when we learn through what you guys post and also through your movies, we begin to understand reality outside of Africa, especially reality for the black man. Yeah. And another beautiful thing I would like to share here, of course, you guys have influenced our language. You use a whole lot. The language use, slangs, vernacular. It surprise you that a whole lot of Africans are ditching the way they speak English and adopting the American style. So it just sounds cool, for music, for commercial purposes, for social purposes. Sounds cool to just say, yo, what's up?
You already know, my dog. It is on Jazzy again.
It sounds cool. So I know that has also entered the African culture. Cultural expressions, yes, dance, performing arts, film and television. You don't know the power of Jordan Peele's what's the name of that? Is Get Out. Yes, that has movie. Then we have people like Tyler Perry's Madea, Ed Murphy's coming to America. Who else again? Even Michael Jackson's Thriller as well has done a whole lot as well in terms of film and television. Dance, of course, Michael Jackson, Chris Brown, James Brown, Prince. Who's this guy? Louis Armstrong, all these guys, John Legend, Kanye influenced a whole lot of rappers when he was still doing his college dropout and graduation, did a whole lot of stuff like that. Yeah. So I also think another things that I know we've learned as well is activism and social movement. We've learned some of these things from you guys. As much as Africa might be homogeneous in terms of identity, black skin, Africans, you also understand that there is still some political issues confronting them. And I must say that Africans are sharpened by the black Americans' vocal prowess. You guys are vocal. You guys speak up. I mean, a whole lot of you would do speak up very well. I mean, you guys have great models to pick. If it's MLK, people are quoting. If it's Malcolm X, if it's a whole lot of beautiful people, Du Bois. Back in college and university, I read a whole lot of black American literature. Maya Angelou, I think she says she doesn't want to be called Maya or Mrs. Angelou or Miss. Toni Morrison, Langston Hughes, a whole lot of black American literature. Richard Wright. These guys are people who have made us understand the movement of emancipating the black man. And I also experienced most of this in through literature as well, reading the literature of these guys, the books, Maya, Richard Wright, Toni Morrison, understanding the black man's experience. And if you listen to the audio or watch the videos of Martin Luther, or you hear people like Malcolm X talk, or you hear Louis Farrakhan, for example, speak, you see a lot of wisdom. Jesus, crazy. Then identity and representation is also another thing. You guys have also influence the black man's identity. He's understanding better where he stands in the rest of the world. Because, I mean, look at what you guys have done now. Ghanaians are beginning to understand. There are lots of African countries that are saying, oh, hi guys in America, black Americans, you can come around. We'll welcome you guys home. This is home. Nobody's going to be racist to you guys here. So it's also making a whole lot of African countries aware of their significance in foreign policies. You know, you can't just be an African country. Most African countries want to be superpowers as well. They are aspiring. You guys have done that. You know, the Wakanda culture, for example, that Marvel pushed is a black culture that you guys influenced. You guys shaped it as well. Even though it's African, but you guys made it possible. You guys have pushed to the point where people want to represent the story. People want to present the story. People want to encourage the expression of the stories, else it will not sell. That's why Black Panther is successful. They say black is the new gold. So, firstly, you guys are very, of course, in America is very capitalist and commercial, but it is because there's a whole lot of value in what you guys do that Black Panther was that successful. So, yeah, guys, I believe this is all the pageant of how Black Americans have influenced us. I don't know if I missed out any part of it. Yeah, although there are some negatives as well, but I'll focus on the positives. There are some negatives which, of course, is similar to every culture. You know, there is a whole lot of, I don't know, there's a lot of drug violence that is pushed through music, through some music, because I know I listen to a lot of music. I listen to a lot of Kendrick, listen to a lot of Jay-Z. I mean, Jay-Z 444, for example, is another great album. But I know that there are some elements who would choose to copy some bad sides of the culture, like the baby mama culture, the drug culture, you know, the noisy, a whole lot of stuff like that, because there's a good side and there's a bad side. So we also have some African people who would just leave these good things that I mentioned now and choose to copy some of the bad sides, you know, wanting to mess the family structure or not understanding where the black people are coming from. So they just want to copy everything. So no, I am not an ambassador of that. I don't support that. I believe that people should filter whatever they take from a culture. Don't just take everything hook, like, and sinker. So guys, thank you very much for listening and watching. I don't know if I missed out anything basically. Let me know in the comment section if I you know, explained better, if I discussed and shared what I feel. Yeah, the comment section. My name is HRM, guys. See you soon. Please hit the subscribe button. Let me know what you guys think. Cheers.